just feel grown, you know?
Yeah. Love that for you.
Yeah.
What is that coming with for you?
We haven't even introduced.
Oh my god. Sorry, didn't see you guys there.
Hi guys, welcome back to Side A, the podcast. I am one half of your host, Oyinda, aka Big O.
And I'm the other half of your host, the top half.
I mean, that's untrue. Like, technically. Technically, and like, realistically, it's untrue. I am the top half, because I'm older.
I am in that way.
Well, you're also, you need to...
I'm Lola, per use, aka Fun Girl if you're nasty, if you're feeling
I need
frisky.
the end of this propaganda. I need...
It's not propaganda. Well, today's gonna be a fun one. How are we feeling today? How are we feeling?
I just feel really cold out, but I'm feeling fine. You know, today is the last day of freedom for me.
Nice.
I had this past week off, and I know I've been talking about that since we started this podcast.
We've been looking
2 or 3 months ago.
But she made the best of it.
Yeah, I really tried. Oh, I'm so happy you think that. I really tried. I put effort into it.
Yeah.
I tried to like balance like rest, like actual like physical rest with like just restful things in terms of activities. So like I went to book club. It's is it downtown? I actually don't remember exactly where it is. But I went to it's like a bookstore, but it's also like a bar.
Yeah.
It's also like a coffee shop.
Yeah, I seen it on TikTok once.
But you know what's so funny?
What
nobody mentions on TikTok?
What?
There's no outlets. So you can't charge your devices because they really don't want you to be on your
phone. Yeah.
But my thing is, people read stuff on iPads. People read...
Come with your iPad charged then.
Like... Or in my case, I went there to write.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, it would be nice for me to be in like, you know, like a reading environment for me to feel like, okay, yeah, like I want to write. There were no outlets.
Oh, they said absolutely not.
They said absolutely not. And then after 6 p.m., no laptops, no devices.
Period. No. And I'm so for spaces like that because it's like their intention is just to get you to disconnect for a second. Even if it's just for that moment in the day that you're not, you know, in this activity mode of like, oh, tasks need to get done.
Yeah.
It's so like helpful. There's this coffee shop I went to and they were like, oh yeah, on weekends they don't allow people to work, you know, in the coffee shop.
Yeah.
But you can on the weekdays. But weekends they will not allow that. And I was like, yeah, it'll work because...
Move this way a little bit. I feel like... Yeah, perfect.
I feel like that's a really like cool thing and that's a really cool and human way to like be like, okay, here's how we can like, you know, improve your lifestyle, you know?
It was nice. I enjoyed it. I spent like maybe 5 or 6 hours in there and I also met these 2 girls. They were 2 Nigerian girls and they came and sat on the table next to me. And like I had headphones in and I was writing. And one of them, I heard them say something to me and she was like, oh, are you a writer? And I'm like, well, I'm trying to be. I'm like, this is going to be like my first novel.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my gosh, like I was an author as well, but I kind of felt like I didn't have enough life experience. So it was like not necessarily coming like super naturally for me. So I felt like I should just like put it away. And I was like, and then it turns out when she said I didn't have enough life experience, I didn't clock like what she meant.
Yeah.
Turns out, because her cousin was telling me how she is going to law school and everything like that. So I had asked her, I was like, oh, like, where did you go to undergrad?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, I'm actually a senior in high school. I was like, okay. Yeah. I was like, okay, yeah, you have time. Like, you have time to get the like life experience and things like that. Because I think she's a romance author.
Yeah.
And so she felt like, you know,
she
gets to see things and experience things and like whatever.
Oh, that's fair. And that's
fair.
And you know something, that's very you know, good on her.
Good on her for realizing that, yeah.
like, you know, she needed like some more experience and just like to actually live her life before writing, because you know something, the better the book would be.
Truly, I was shocked when she said how old she was, because I was like, I would not because she looks old or anything, but she just seems very like self-aware, very mature, very well-rounded. So I'm like, you know what, you have nothing to worry about. Just give yourself some time and the experience will come.
Also, maturity is not what these other people said it was. Maturity is in the small things.
It's in the very small things. That's very true.
Things. It's not this like
yeah.
I don't know.
Very, very true. Very true.
We won't get into it today, but some other time we'll talk about maturity.
I also got a massage. I got my hair done.
Let's get an applause for the retwist.
And I just...
She's a little lad who loves berries and cream. Mm-hmm. Berries and cream, berries and cream. She's a little lad who loves berries and cream. Can we get
up the octave? Can we get what?
Can we get like blocked for that?
No, I hope not. But it was a restful week, and I'm grateful, and I will try to go back to work tomorrow with a positive mindset.
Yes. They're gonna be so happy to have you back.
I hope so. I hope they missed me.
Okay.
Or not, whatever. Like.
Applause.
How was your week?
My week was cute. I don't remember much of it. I just remember that I was doing a lot of stuff, you know, in between. Like, you know when you're doing like different tasks?
You went out a lot, I feel like. Did you? Or was that the week before?
I think it was the week before.
I feel like you went to a party, maybe?
That was the week before. Okay, but I did go for my friend's fundraiser event for their movie August. You should follow them. It's at Come Follow August, I think, on Instagram. But it was a really cool party, and we got like just drunk as hell. Mm-hmm. It was just a good time.
And you went to Friendsgiving too.
I went to Friendsgiving this last week with my friends. That was also really fun. I didn't really know most of the people in the room except for my friend Fatu. But it was still really fun. Like, I love meeting new people. Like, people are cool sometimes.
No, I love meeting new people. Like, that's one thing I've really tapped into this year that I would say, like, is one thing that I said I was going to do and I did.
Yeah.
So, like, I think, what day was that? I think on Friday I went to Tatiana with my supper club.
Yeah.
And, like, I get excited. I think maybe the first 2 times I was a little nervous because obviously social anxiety. But like, I get excited to go because I'm like, I don't know who's going to be there.
Yeah.
But I don't feel nervous about that because I know the caliber of like women that come to these spaces. And like, they're just going to be people who like, even if I never talk to them again, it's going to be people that I'm like, wow, cool. I met that person and that was like really cool. You know what I mean? And there was like really good
caliber of women.
No, it's true. It's true. Curating the people that you're around is very, very important.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's one of the ways that I get to do that. So like the next thing I'm looking to join is like a book club. Like a physical book club.
Yeah.
So I've been looking into a couple of them. I found this one on TikTok, but the next time they're meeting, I can't go. But that's another thing that I want to do.
Okay, that's cute.
Yeah.
Writing it down.
Yeah.
What else was I talking about? Oh yeah, just like what I've done this week. But yeah, it was just like little tasks here and there, and like it just. I guess the week didn't really take form just because it was a lot of like things.
It was loosey-goosey.
You know, yeah. But I'm really hopeful for the week to come though. I think it's gonna be a good week. I'm gonna try to make it a good week. I'm trying to like, my key for the week is intention. Intention is everything. Intention is the game, you know? So like, if that means like me planning like my entire morning and like every step I'm supposed to make that morning the night before, like I'm gonna do that.
Please don't miss therapy. This girl missed therapy the last 2 sessions. What?
I don't know. I think I just forgot, like, I don't know. Something about, like, I've been waking up Wednesdays, like, kind of early. Yeah. But then I'll, like, start my day. Right?
Literally, she was up, like, she made breakfast.
I made breakfast. I was just like, and then I sat, and then I was like, damn. Wait.
I miss therapy.
Because it's at 11 a.m. So it's like, it's pretty early on in the day. Yeah. So I think I'm probably going to ask for a later time. Maybe like an afternoon or something. At first I was like, oh my god, it's really good for me to start my day with like, talking about my feelings and all these things. But it's not working as far as like my attention span. So I'm gonna switch that up for sure.
I had therapy in the morning one time and it wasn't the worst, but I won't do it again.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Like 11 o'clock is not really the morning.
Yeah, it's not super early.
But it's also still early enough in the day where it's like you're still, getting in the groove of like what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Hey, it'll be fine. Like, I think I'm doing okay as far as just like emotionally regulating myself right now. I'm just a work in progress, just like taking every day as it comes and all the things, you know what I mean? Like,
I love that for you. So, what's on side A for you, sissy?
What is on side A for me? Oh my god. This has to be my side A just because I just finished it and it is a part of like my favorite thing in the world, which is the movie. Which is Scott Pilgrim. So Netflix just released like a new like revamped anime called Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, I think. And it's so good. Oh my god. They actually, when I say revamped the story, it's not just like a remake. They didn't just like, and at first I thought...
Is it a series or a movie?
It's a series. Okay. So it's like 8 episodes.
Okay.
So like, and I love that it's 8 episodes because 7 evil exes. And then it's God. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Their head was there. It was super entertaining. The right balance of like nostalgia and like, a new
making
concept.
More,
yeah.
Like
and like they had, like Japanese, animators, like, make it and like, the little details of like, okay, who are we giving this platform to? They have all the original like actors from the movie.
Well, they do.
Yeah, as the voice actors, which just makes it the more, real in that universe. So it's like, I absolutely loved it. And Scott Pilgrim,
I just realized that's why I saw an interview.
Yeah.
Where like the original cast of Scott Pilgrim did like this interview where they were all talking about like how that was like probably the most fun set that they had all been on, and it was Michael Cera.
Yeah.
And what's his name again? Captain America.
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. Yeah.
Captain America. Chris Evans.
Okay.
It's a white man though.
Like, okay. Chris Evans.
Yeah.
I was thinking Chris Pine, but that's not. Yeah.
The Chris's,
right. Very different Chris's though.
Different Chris's.
But they kind of ended up in the same world.
Their name is Chris.
Yeah. But whatever. Yeah, that's why they were doing that interview. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I literally did not know that was coming out.
Yeah, but it's really good. You should watch it. Honestly, you could binge it in one day, but like I wanted to savor it. Like what I was saying, like Scott Pilgrim versus the World is like my favorite movie of all time. Like I watched it time and time again, and it's just such a fun movie and well done. And like the special effects are
even at the time
like
was
literally
stellar.
past its like time period.
And not stellar because it was the most expensive, but it just like builds the world so well.
Like it's so vivid. Like it's just everything you would want in a movie, So I absolutely love, that world and those people. So yeah, it's a great watch for sure. So that's definitely like my side A for the week.
What's on side A for me is The Hunger Games. Specifically, the Battle of Songbirds and Snakes, because I just saw it last week, and that's probably the best movie I've seen in theaters this year. Which other movies have I seen in theaters? Barbie, The Little Mermaid. What else have we seen in theaters?
You saw Bottoms in theaters.
Bottoms in theaters, yeah.
What else did you see in theater? I feel like we saw other movies like that.
I would still put it at number 1.
Okay,
it was
done
so well. I think that is how you take something that's like beloved and like do a take on it. And also, I didn't read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes when it came out. I believe it came out during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Which, good for her. I'm pretty sure they
they were like, if you write
if you're willing to write a prequel, we'll make the movie. Because the amount of time between when the book came out and when the movie actually was out in theaters. It's like, if you think about the concept of like how long it takes for movies to get made, especially a movie of that like
size. No, because like
they got
the
to
sets are
immediately.
crazy.
They got to it immediately, but it's just such a good prequel. Like a prequel, I did what it had to do as a prequel because I came home and I was like, I'm gonna watch all 4 Hunger Games movies, and I literally did within like 2 days because I'm like, it just gave so much dimension to President Snow, even though it's still fuck President Snow. All my homies hate President Snow, but it just was like a mind fuck of a movie. The story was so intricate and so like, it was very well told, and like Rachel Zegler is, I think this is the first time I didn't see her in West Side Story, and I'm not gonna watch Snow White because I'm not supporting that Zionist. So I was just really happy, especially with the whole thing surrounding Snow White and like their whole press situation and people acting like Rachel Zegler is like the worst person on earth.
Like can we actually address
so
that?
Weird.
Because I think it's so strange
weird.
how people have received that girl ever since she started her career, because like people really do. I feel like oftentimes we're always like, oh, people hate this person for no reason, but people really hate her
for no reason,
for absolutely no reason at all. And I'm like, but she's a good actress. She's good at what she does. She's a great actress.
She's a great singer.
She works hard.
She's a great performer.
She's been doing really cool movies. Like let's raise this lady up.
Somebody did a comparison because I think there was this interview with Jacob Elordi where they were asking him about what inspired him to take a specific role. I can't remember what role it was. It was either a role in Saltburn or it was Elvis. And he was like, honestly, I needed a job. Rachel said the same thing 6 months ago. They were like, she's so ungrateful to be given a platform like this for a Disney movie. And it's this and that and that. Like, when do you want the girl to say, oh my God, I always dreamed from childhood to play Snow White? Anybody you ask, who is your favorite Disney princess? Almost nobody is saying Snow White. So like the excitement and the joy and the gratitude and the enthusiasm that y'all are saying that this girl she needs to be jumping up and down, like, it's a job. That is literally her job. And like, I'm sure she did the job well, even though I'm not watching the fucking movie. So it's just like, why do you guys expect so much performance from women? When men do this, when men act like they don't give a fuck and they, I could have done it or I couldn't have done it. People don't care. They're like, oh, he's so cool. Oh, he's so real for that. Oh, even though I love Jacob Elordi, I really do. But
But
she's an actor. She did a job.
People think actors like get to like just pick and choose, like, cause like I hope the strike has shown you guys that these actors are just workers.
They're just looking for the next job.
Working. They are like, they go job to job. They are acting for a living.
Especially because we're talking about people like Jacob Elordi, Rachel Zegler. These are new artists. They're new.
They're making their name.
They are just
because we know them. It's like, okay, wow, they must have all of this money, but it's like, it doesn't work like that. They're just now making a name. Oh my God, that reminds me of like when Sydney Sweeney was talking about how like she like can't afford when she can't afford not to work. And everybody was like, oh, like, there's no way, like, how much money did you make off of, like, Euphoria? But I'm like, that was one job.
Aya Debbie was in an interview, and they were like, oh my God, between Bottoms and this, and Theater Camp, and blah, 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 and fucking, Big Mouth, and all of these things that she's doing, like, oh my God, you're working so much, all of these, projects are overlapping. And she's like, I mean, who is gonna pay the bills? Like, you go to work every day. Like, I gotta go to work every day because I need to, like, I have a life to build. Anyway, I just wanted to use that as a way to shout out Rachel Zegler because she was the heart of that movie. And I think I heard somewhere that she was singing live for most of her numbers, like on set. And I'm just like, when people come from like a theater background and like even like a Renee Rapp, where it's like theater actors come to the big screen and they just eat everybody up. they eat everybody up because the performance level that you have to be at to be like on stage is not like every night. These people are going on for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and putting on the show 2 times a night. It's like the performance was really good. The story was done very well.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it. I'm really excited.
It was.
I've only heard good things. So
white men losing their minds. Who would have thought?
Okay.
And then I went home and I watched all the rest of the previous Hunger Games movies, and I've been on Hunger Games talk ever since. There's a Lola, they're not. I need to give up the ASMR. I need to give it up. There's this creator that I really want to shout out because I've watched so much of her content over the past week. Let me find out what her name is. But if you're into like just deep dives on films and movies and books, you should watch her shit because she's just so. Let's see. It's called Lucky Lefty. Lucky Lefty. Absolutely love her. And she has a YouTube channel as well if you want to watch that. But she's really good. She's really insightful, and she did a lot of Hunger Games content. So if you're looking for that. Yeah.
We'll put her info in the.
I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah.
And all those things. But Lucky Lefty at Lucky Lefty on TikTok.
You dropped the jar, so like, what's the message? What do we have?
Yeah.
What does it say?
What are your unrealized dreams?
Oh.
High key, we've picked this before. Was this the one where you were like, no, let's put it back?
No.
Okay, maybe it wasn't. But we have picked this one before, but we didn't do it. Confessions. But yeah, we can do this today. This is cute.
We've been double dipping.
Yeah, we have. Sorry, guys.
It was that one episode though.
Yeah,
it was just really, one episode. It was the one episode.
They had it very,
It's because Oinda kept picking it. You see how it's drawn to my hand?
No.
It's drawn to you.
All right. Anyway, what are your unrealized dreams?
Actually, what I said was just say that I just realized I was the one that picked it, but won't talk about that.
You know what's funny? I have answers for this, right?
Yeah.
And it could be deep, which it is deep, but however, I've been thinking about this, and it says unrealized, so it doesn't mean that these things couldn't. They're coming. You know what I mean? But I have. Yeah, of course. But I think the first thing I've been thinking about is just how stationary I've been in my 20s so far.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about being where I'm at for this long, physically. Yeah. So I think that's an unrealized dream for me, where I thought that I would have moved around more.
Yeah.
By this time, I thought that I would have just gone places in general, even if it wasn't like physically like moving and saying, okay, this is my new home. Just like gone places in general, done things in general. And there's I have done things, but not to the scale that I thought I would be able to do. Yeah. And not to the scale that I could have done if not for factors beyond my control, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or maybe not factors beyond my control, but just very things that have kind of like weighed me down or like made things just a little bit harder to do.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the things that I've been thinking about. So that's like the biggest thing where I'm like, I don't want to shortchange myself by saying, oh my God, I've taken all this time, like it's too late.
Yeah.
So I want to like just move. I think the people I admire the most are people who like, this year they live here, this year they live there, this time they're on a solo trip. Like Victoria, I just, even though I'm sure like she has her own situations that she's like, oh my gosh, like I'm a little dissatisfied. But one thing about Vicky, she will stand up and she will go. Yeah. She will get up, she will go. She will book that trip. She will go alone if she needs to. Things like that. Or like even just actually like living in different places. I've lived here for so long. Yeah. And I want to like have the experience of living elsewhere. You know? At least before I settle down and like have kids of my own. Yeah. You know?
You know something, when you said Victoria just now, I thought you meant Victoria Paris, because she does a very similar thing.
Oh, I meant my bestie.
Yeah. But not some, like, on both sides. Parallels, But like, Victoria Paris does a very similar thing where she is wherever she wants to be. Like,
whenever.
Like, literally all she has done with the money that she has gotten off social media is travel.
To go.
And travel and travel and travel. Like, she's been to how many cities this year, like not cities, like continents, places in the world, like just really taking the extra step to actually see the world. And I feel like again with what you were saying about like factors behind.
Yeah.
You guys, I'm sorry I'm here, but don't, if you know, you know. Sorry. But factors beyond your control, you're just like, okay, like this keeps me in this like stage of my life or space in my life for so long that you like start to forget like certain things that you once like dreamed about and like were like, oh yeah, this was the goal for this age and this age and this age. But like honestly, time is not real, and time is a figment of our imagination, and we can't do anything at any time. Is what I'm recently realizing. I'm like,
but also on the flip side, time is very real because we have a limited amount of it. So it's like, even just from that standpoint, it's like you're gonna plan for like, 5 years from now, blah blah blah, and then you could literally be by then. You know what I mean? So it's like I've been stationary and like I want to just move. Like sometimes I think that it's even good that you mentioned Victoria Parrot because it's like she'll be moving to apartments and people will be like, oh my gosh, but you just moved. And it's like, okay, yeah. And she didn't she felt like she wanted something better and then she moved. Or even if it's not like, better, something else. Yeah, I did just move a year ago and I'm going to do it again. And then I'll do it again if I feel like it. And then the moment where I feel like I want to sit and wait. I remember when people were confused that she was leaving New York, even though she had repeatedly said that she was getting stalked. And people had found her house and were coming to her house. I think that's really interesting. But that is a sidebar from the conversation. But you know, the truth is also, people think that New York is the end-all be-all. And I know that while we live here, like that's another thing that scares me where I feel like, how am I going to assimilate elsewhere? Like just in terms of like, myself. Like everywhere else that I go is just so different. You know what I mean? It's so... Like, I love Miami. Like, everybody that knows me knows how much I love Miami. But Miami is so different. I don't give Miami girl. I'm not, like, gonna be in a bikini at the beaches and all of these things all the time and, like, at the clubs. And, like, Miami is very heavy on nightlife and stuff like that. So it's very different from the personality that I have and the aesthetic that I have. Like, I'm going to stick out. But I look at it like, okay, well, I'll stick out, but I'm not that different that I won't be able to find, like, my community somewhere. I don't think you're gonna stick out per se. The thing is, like, so I think it's a perception thing because people come to New York and they're like, okay, this is the New York vibe, right? You know? You strive to match that vibe. Meanwhile, there's all sorts of vibes here. Yeah, I was gonna say there's no set New York vibe. And so it's like I think of Miami that way, where it's like, I've gone there as a visitor, so of course I'm gonna see. Oh, this is the Miami vibe, like, but like we've gotten to see like the inner workings of knowing like there's so many different. There's so much shit here, and we've been here before, before. The wave of transplants. Like, there's always been transplants here, but like before the wave of social media transplants, we're transplants, but in a different way. Like, I've lived here since I was 16. I didn't come as like my whole adult life I've lived here. So it's like, I didn't come, it's different. There's the transplants in the way that transplants have become. Like, and then you move away in a year or two. And then there's transplants like us where you came in here and you immediately like... And this was home. Yeah, you immediately like fixed yourself into like what is actually happening on the ground and not like an aesthetic that you thought you were like... Living. Like I didn't have that perspective of New York where it's like, oh, it's going to be like this and I'm going to go here and I'm going to go there and these are all... Oh my God, do you remember that my dream school wasn't even here? It wasn't even here. I thought I was going to go to Houston. I thought I was going to just like, go to Houston, get a car, Talk about unrealized dreams. Like, really, I thought like by now, like a lot of things would like be different. Mm-hmm. Like, I did not think I would be 22 and be like, I don't want to say where I am because I'm okay with where I am. But like, I think I had so many like expectations and like dreams that I had like entirely thought out, but like not really because like my teenage years were really sad and like a lot of sewer, thoughts and like
it was very much like when I was envisioning my 20s, it was very like glamorous and it was very like, you know, when you present yourself as someone who has it figured out, you know? And I was very much that person who was like, this is exactly what I want for my life. And honestly, a lot of those things are still true, but they've morphed in like different ways, you know? It's like, I was very much like, oh, like I want a creative career, but I don't want anything like, I don't want anything that will make me money. I don't want anything too corporate. I don't want anything where I can't be myself, you know? So, and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of living that right now. And that's like great. But it's like, on the flip side, I'm like, oh my God, these things aren't benefiting me the way that I wanted them to, or that I thought that they would. So it's like, it's a very complex, like back and forth when I think of like unrealized dreams, because I'm 22, so I have all the time in the world. And one thing my therapist keeps on like, you know, shouting at me is that I'm a child. And like, while I'm an adult, like I'm literally a child. Like if I tell anybody else I'm 22, they'd be like, oh, you're a baby. You know? And it doesn't feel like that. Honestly, it feels like life is really like kicking me, you know, right now. But I feel like that just comes with the time and the territory. You know?
I also think dreams are so they're so subjective, right? Because I think about 16-year-old me, right? And like if she would be proud of where I'm at today. And I think she would be super impressed, you know what I mean? I think she would think that I was doing great, and like maybe she would think that I was even doing more than maybe she thought that she could do, you know what I mean? But 27-year-old me is the version of me that is living this life right now. So I know what it is to want to think beyond that version of myself and to see everything else that could happen from this standpoint. So it's kind of like time and place is a very important thing, and like context is very important. And like while I'm super proud of everything that I've done, I think that I'm also like I can do more and I can take control of more. I think I've left things. I don't want to say I've left things to chance, because I've taken a lot of control and a lot of ownership. But again, there's things that limit me that I won't necessarily talk about on here. But there's things that limit me, you know what I mean? There's things that maybe my friends can do, or like my peers can do or take advantage of, that I just simply cannot. Or there's family dynamics that like make me feel like, okay, I need to go with the safer option, because for now, this is what makes the most sense, so that everybody is like good and like whatever the case might be. But next year, I want to remove myself completely from like, okay, I love you so much, but I want to remove myself from like, okay, like, but what will like be the best for like me and Lola and me and mommy and me and daddy and me and my friends and blah blah blah, and just be like, okay, if it was only me, if I didn't have to think about anybody else, what would that look like? I've never thought that way before. Like I don't even know how I'm going to get myself from this point to that point. But I think that when I do is the point where I will really like be able to just
and it's so cute how you had to do like a I love you just to be like you want to prioritize you, because that is the one thing that I feel like I always like, and I know it, you know, circumstantially it doesn't work out like that way, but like that's the one thing I'm always just like blurting out to you, that I want you to be able to think for just you and want your
things. It doesn't come naturally.
Need you. I know. It's like a bond that you need to work. Definitely. I feel like I've always just had that spirit of, again, that knowing what I want, but like knowing what you want comes with asking yourselves a lot of questions. Yourselves. Yourselves. Asking yourselves a lot of questions, like, you know, that require you to like really introspect. That introspection comes in now. But it's like, what do I want out of this thing? Like, when I was leaving a relationship at a point, I literally had to like break it down and be like, okay, what do I actually want out of love? What do I actually want out of a relationship? Am I getting those things? What are the steps I can take to get those things? You know, like, and then one question will unfold, another question, and another question, and another question, and it will just start to like round out. I've been trying to remind myself not to always ask questions. and demand the answers immediately though, like, because I think that's my
of
thing.
yourself or of others.
Of myself and of others, because I don't think it's fair if I, give myself that grace and I don't give that grace to other people. But like, I want to be able to like experience it and just live it before like asking all the questions before and like trying to work out the outcome, rather than just like experiencing it and seeing what happens.
It's the journey.
Oh wow.
I'm still
It's the climb.
Here.
The difference.
Not it.
It's the climb by Miley Cyrus x Tisha Campbell. I'm still here. We had somebody say that mashup.
The same. Oh,
yeah,
girl.
No, that mashup. No, hit me up.
No.
Like my idea, my intellectual property. By the way, let's talk. If you can do this.
Not only intellectual property with other people's music, girl, please. But yeah, I feel like.
Oh my god.
I think that when I saw Unrealized Dreams at the last time I saw it, it felt more
confrontational.
It felt more confrontational.
Yeah.
But like, I guess like, and maybe it's because like I've had a little bit of space in my mind in the past week or something like that to just think like unrealized just means
you haven't done it.
Not yet.
Yeah, you haven't done it. Yeah.
But there's a lot of things I haven't yet done. I have so much time, and yeah, I want next year so badly to just take control in a way that I haven't taken control yet. Like, I think people view me as somebody who like takes a lot of like control and ownership. Yeah. But I think when it really comes down to it, when it comes down to asking myself, okay, but what about you? Yeah. That always goes out the window. Lola was just shouting at me about like, no, I'm like, okay, somebody asked me what I want for Christmas and I don't have an answer. I was like, Lola, what should I ask for Christmas? And she's like, you need to figure out how to have wants. Like you need to...
I don't understand a world where it's like there's not a singular thing that you've seen come across, like that you're like, oh, I want this thing
all the time. Yeah. But then when it comes down to being asked, like, okay,
wish listing. I honestly, I used to have that problem a lot. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not going to act like it's a inhuman thing. Mm-hmm. But I used to have that problem a lot. You need to wish list, and it was Ade that told me this thing. Just write it down. Like, really create a system for yourself that's like, okay, I want to remember that I want this thing. So I will keep it here. I will bookmark it. I'll create a folder. I'll take a screenshot. Anything. And then I'll like have somewhere else to like find it. So when it's like, oh, if it's my birthday or if it's like this type of thing, especially because like I realized that I really like receiving gifts. Mm-hmm. I really love receiving gifts. I love giving gifts as well. I wish I could give gifts at the capacity that I wish I could. But I do love receiving gifts. Yeah, soon for sure. I want to be in a place where like I know exactly what I want. So like when people ask me what I want, I'm not always just like, I don't know. And then you never get the things that you want, you know? Like suddenly like you have nothing that you want. I had that realization. I was 20 and I had that realization that I was like, oh, I never really ask people for the things that I want. I'm not really telling people what I want. I'm just kind of assuming that, oh, by knowing me, you already would know. And that's
I just said that the other day.
Yeah, and it's
realizing that maybe
that's a very weird ping pong because then you are actually never getting what you want. It's important.
The onus is always on somebody else.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's another thing.
Which is like, fine. Like sometimes, you want a thoughtful gift. Like you just thought about me and you got that. But at the same time, I should be able to.
But sometimes some direction is nice.
It's good.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing. Sometimes you can tell someone, oh yeah, like I would probably like this thing, and then that person can now take their own initiative if they can't get you that particular thing to get you something that would kind of give that feeling because you told them something that you kind of like, you know? It doesn't even matter. It can be a couple of things. Like there's different ways to do thoughtful gifts, I feel like, you know? But that's one thing I've definitely been working on, just being more intentional about like, okay, what do I want? Like,
you know what I realized?
What do I want is big.
Because I've been unpacking so much, like from like my previous relationship, I think that one thing that stressed me out a lot that I was maybe somewhat envious of. I don't like to use the word envy when it comes to myself.
Yeah.
But I think this was one thing that I was envious of, and like it bubbled up a lot of different emotions in me. I was with somebody who like at every single point in time was advocating for themselves and what they wanted, whether it's like financially or like physical things or like whatever, just anything, and like consistently being like, oh, like look at this thing, oh, I wanted to get this, oh, I wanted to get this, oh, I was thinking about getting this, oh, this was really cool, I actually want this, or I could do this with this, and da da da. And like sometimes I'm just like, ugh, like every day you want something, and it's not even as if this person was even asking me to like buy
it's just more so like, hey,
it was just like and it's like, oh, they wanted things and they were always like sharing it with me, like, oh, I want this, and sometimes I would get resentful of it because I'm like, every single day you want something new, There was also a part of that where it was like, okay, so what did you want to buy me? When did I come up in all of this? But anyway, aside from that, but I realized like I got a little like envious of it because I'm like, I shouldn't be critiquing this person in my mind for always wanting things.
Yeah.
Like, and it's very, it's a very human thing to like maybe like dislike things in yourself or be dissatisfied with things in yourself and project that as dislike onto other people who potentially have those things, you know what I mean? Which I try not to do for the most part.
Yeah.
But again,
it's hard to decipher. Emotions are emotions.
Yeah, unpacking all of my shit. I'm like, that is something that I did kind of like envy a little bit or like was a little resentful about because I'm just like, because it's not something that I know how to do. So like, I want to tap into that, maybe not to that magnitude. Yeah. But I want to have that for myself.
I was just going to say, I was going to preface with like a wanting spirit, like a constant wanting spirit is not good.
Yeah, that's not the, we're not advocating for that.
Yeah, because then you end up in like a hole again. As somebody who
feel like I don't have.
As somebody who wants a lot, I can say that immediately. Like it's two sides of a coin. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, okay, on one side, yes, I like things, so I know the type of things that I want. But on the other side, I'm constantly wanting things, so I am in a mindset of lack. Like almost all the time. Word. Like I'm always feeling stuck. I'm always feeling like, oh my God, I'm not getting anything I want. I'm not able to do any of the things I want. Currently going through these things, I'm just like now, like, healing from emotions and like trying to push myself to like think of that word. Healing from your stress. Healing from your stress.
God, we love you so bad in this household. I don't feel like you get enough of your things. My goodness.
You need to be
That is one of the best artists we have. R&B.
Everybody's always saying R&B is dead. Where? How?
Also, oh my gosh. Okay, so let's finish our conversation because there's one thing I wanted to say. It's very off topic, but I just need to say it.
So sidebar.
But I want us to finish your. Okay. I want us to finish your thought first because it was a very profound thought.
Well, I have the memory of a goldfish. So...
Mindsets of luck.
Yeah, mindsets of luck. You need to come out of it. Like, honestly, just like I said, every day is every day, right? Today is today. And however I am today, I'm just going to try and accept where I'm at today. And it's like, I don't even want to say it in a way that it's like easy. No, it's easier said than done. And it's really, really hard. I am still currently battling a lack mindset. But the thing about constantly being in lack is that you will never attract the abundance that you're looking for, because you are just thinking about the fact that you're lacking all the time. So, the mind is a powerful thing, and so is the tongue. So it's like your thoughts and your like the things that you say to yourself and like, think inwardly. Because people sometimes think, hey,
Lola, move.
Biggie. Bigger.
Lola, move.
Oh god. If there was any clue that I was Nigerian on this show, is that every single episode, H Factor or
All
some
sorts. All sorts.
you know something, I am who I am. I'm proud of where I'm from, man. Am I?
Question mark to be Nigerian.
TBD. You know, in a way.
Yeah.
Let's say it like that. Anyways, yeah. So please, like, I think your thoughts are powerful. I think your words are powerful. So, like, use your thoughts to think about the things that, you know, make you feel better. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like my wants are things that make me feel better, like things that I envision in my life and in the things that I want for like the best version of myself, you know? So like, I feel like that's the way you should think about wanting things rather than like, oh, I don't have these things, so I'm so, you know, incredibly bummed about it that I can't get out of this hole, you know?
Yeah.
So, I think that's been my approach to like my unrealized dreams as well. Like honestly, even just apart from like wants and stuff, like because your unrealized dreams are your wants.
Yeah, are your wants. Yeah,
they are your wants. You know, and I honestly, as a child, I kind of like not even a child. I was a teenager. I put a lot of pressure on myself. Until this year, and even this year, I'm still putting a lot of pressure on myself. But like with like easing a little bit, where it's that I'm not necessarily working on this clock of, oh, I haven't done this by 20, I'm such a failure. I haven't done this at 21, I'm such a failure. I haven't done this even at 19, I was like, oh my god, my friends are doing so all these cool things, all the people I grew up with, like, were doing something like really like just, you know? And I was like, I have that in me. Why am I not doing this thing that's so, you know? Yeah. But I was going through my own journey. I don't think I should have popped off anytime soon. Like, at least anytime at that time previously, soon. Yeah. I didn't pop off soon, no, I beg. But at that time previously, I feel like I just wasn't ready. I wasn't mentally ready. I wasn't physically ready. So I think it's just a thing of time and like the motions, the journey. It's the journey. You know? It's the journey. It's the climb. An unrealized dream that I'm definitely going to realize, and hopefully like soon, hopefully in the next 2 years, preferably. But like, you know, God do what you want to do. But preferably 2 years. I want to go to fashion school. I wanted to go to fashion school initially instead of like just going to a 4-year college. But like, I have Nigerian parents that want better for me, so I guess
in their minds,
you know. So, but yeah, I definitely want to get my master's in fashion styling and creative direction or something like that. Like just something that like park, you know. And I will do that. I've already been searching, so it will be realized one day.
Manifesting a scholarship.
Yeah. Same. Oh my god! Like, there's actually a way to do it, and I found out. My research has been so deep. Like, I found grants, I found scholarships, and the ones that
tuition prices
crazy
in this economy.
By the way, all these educational institutions stand up. You guys, what are you doing? What are you actually doing?
They actually hate their students.
Aren't you supposed to be helping
they hate students. In this America,
the future of tomorrow.
In this America, the biggest industries put higher education right at the top because these people is for profit only. It's not about you. It's not about your growth. It's not about your learning.
The money that you're asking for, like 1 student, 2 students, is someone's like salary for a whole year. Like, don't even
University is not by force. And now that I have gone through it even twice, I will never tell if my child one day says, "Mom, I don't want to go to college. This is what I want to do instead." I'll be damned if I tell them they're wrong for that. Yeah. Because this shit is a whole scam. I'm not sad that I have an education. I really do value the education
I value it so hard. Like, honestly, it's been so helpful. But it's not my close.
this industry is not about our advancements. It's not about making us better. There's some good apples in there, but the system is fucked. So there's that. And being an international student, you go here when
it's not for the weak.
What is it not for the wise? If you not like, when I know they born your children for abroad. Anyway.
Don't be wicked. Don't be wicked. Don't be wicked. Go somewhere. Like, I'm begging you. Like,
green passport is please. Not. It's not fun. It's a punishment. It's a lifelong punishment. Let's just say it right now. Anyway, up Nigeria.
Green, white, green. Love you guys though.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Unrealized dreams. Hey. Yeah.
Wow.
You guys, as usual, this is coming to an end soon.
Yeah. Love you guys so much. 2 more episodes, Let's know what you guys actually want to see. Like, maybe next episode we can do like something that's a little interactive.
Yeah.
So like something that's so fun for just,
or maybe for like our season finale.
Maybe for the season finale. Yeah, so let's get that together. Let's know what you guys are like wanting to hear a topic. Actually, you guys get to pick
I do want to do, right?
Yeah, you guys get to pick side B for the season finale.
You know what's cool? I do want to do like a side A wrapped.
Yeah.
So maybe you guys pick categories for us. So like let us know if you want to see like a wrapped for like music, books, TV shows.
I'm giving you guys assignments too.
Yeah, just like comment below if there's
assignments A and assignments B. Assignment A is give us a category, and assignment B is what do you want the side B for the season finale to be?
That's good. That side of the assignments is a bit much. We'll see.
Oh, no. Like, give us your idea.
What? I've actually gotten a couple of requests.
I've gotten requests as well. Things, yeah, I feel like, no, we're opening the floor. Please, somebody's babe. We're opening the floor. Like, let us know what you want. We'll pick selectively, though. Like, please don't be stupid.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Sorry, but yeah, don't be stupid. Seriously, like, if you put something dumb, we will not pick it. But yeah.
God bless you guys. Let's talk. Have a great rest of your week.
We're just trying to get this episode.
No, we gotta get out of here. No, we gotta get out of here. Yeah, I have a nice
key, girl.
I have things to do. Love you guys though. It's always a pleasure. As usual, like, subscribe, share this with your friends, comment on these videos that we're posting on social media.
Let me just tell you guys, we're baddies. So send it to your baddie friends.
Yeah.
Just send it to people
and
be like,
friends are not baddies.
Yeah, just be like, oh my god, look at these girls, they're so fine. They deserve your watch.
Yeah. Because we do. And yeah, like, interact with the content, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Goodbye.